What's up, house groups? Merry Christmas. I know right now the person with the remote is panicking like, oh no, did I just click the wrong video? You didn't. It's September, but this is when our staff starts planning for Christmas, and I always feel like if you're gonna plan an epic Christmas Eve service, you gotta go all in on Christmas spirit, so I'm dressed for the occasion today. But as far as this week is concerned, we're in a series called Alter Ego, where we've been talking about the new identity we have in Jesus, about what that means for the way we see ourselves and for the way we live our lives. And on Sunday, we talked about the incredibly human, completely unavoidable feeling of being rejected. It's a pain all of us have experienced. And to be honest and transparent with you guys, probably the worst one in my life, the time that being shot down and turned away hurt the most, was my American Idol audition. I practiced pretty hard, and I showed up certain that I could be the next William Hung, but just kidding. He's actually a way better singer and dancer than I am, sadly. But really, rejection is a universal human experience that can leave deep scars on our hearts and our souls. And it not only hurts emotionally, it stunts us relationally. Because when we feel unseen, unknown, and unloved, we peel back from other people and from God. But the truth is, despite the reality of rejection in our shattered world, we were made, like we were dreamed up and designed for connection and acceptance. And this week we talked about how radically transformative it is to recognize that by digging into the life of Zacchaeus. He was the epitome of a social outcast, a tax collector for an oppressive, occupying foreign government, a thief, a cheat, and a liar. And there were a lot of things standing between him and connection with God. His past was an obstacle. He'd made horrible mistakes that honestly meant he deserved to be rejected. His possessions were an obstacle. He was affluent enough and comfortable enough. He didn't really desperately need anything the world had to offer, though he clearly was a guy who felt he needed something the world didn't have to offer. His pride was an obstacle. I mean, in order to even get a glimpse of Jesus, he was going to have to humiliate himself by running and climbing a tree, and his public image was an obstacle. Like, even if God didn't hate him, he knew, because he'd already been told, he wasn't welcome to belong to the community of God's people. And yet, Zacchaeus was a dude so convinced he needed something Jesus had that he fought to overcome those obstacles. And then ultimately learned he didn't have to fight. He just had to let Jesus break down all of the walls for him. He needed the tree to see Jesus, but Jesus didn't need the tree. He saw Zacchaeus, he knew Zacchaeus, and he invited Zacchaeus in, and it transformed his life. He was able to see that all the bad things he'd done didn't define what he could do moving forward, because Jesus treated him as though who he was mattered less than who he was becoming. And he was able to recognize his mistakes were incidents, not outfits. He didn't have to wear them around anymore. And then he was able to be radically generous because he found a hope in Jesus that was way bigger than any of the hope he'd ever found in his money or his stuff. And ultimately, he was able to find acceptance and community in the family of God because Jesus welcomed him in. And you guys, Jesus wants to do the exact same thing for me and you and everybody out there in our world that we crash into. He wants to do the same thing for us that he did for Zacchaeus. And the truth is, right now, tonight, there are probably barriers between you and God. There's certainly spaces where all of us have felt and maybe still feel rejected. There's a fear that lives inside our souls that we don't deserve love and we don't deserve community. But Jesus says, forget about all of that. I see you. I know your name. I love you. I'm chasing you down. Like, well, you're out there in the world looking for hope. You're going to run into me out there looking for you because I'm coming to where you are. I'd give anything. Like, in fact, I gave everything to have you in my family. You guys, I truly believe God's got something he wants to say to you this week. And I don't know exactly what it is. He knows. But I know at least part of what God wants to say to you is you are seen, you are known, you are accepted, you are loved.